Hey besties, welcome back to another Secret Files 888 reaction video. If you guys are interested in seeing some conspiracies with me, stick around because that's what we're going to be checking out today. Alright, let's jump right in. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
This shocking psychological experiment exposes the dark truth to authority and obedience. In 1961, an American psychologist, Stanley Milgram, wanted an explanation as to how ordinary civilians would commit horrific acts of violence in Nazi Germany. He believed that some people commit wicked acts because they will obey even the most evil and oppressive leaders. To test this theory, Milgram designed an experiment that completely changed our understanding of human behavior, an experiment known as the Milgram experiment. In the Milgram experiment, participants played the role of teacher in what they believed to be a study on memory and learning. They were instructed to administer increasingly severe electric shocks to participants every time they failed to recall word pairs. The key element here is that the learner was an actor and the electric shocks, well, they weren't real. Although as the experiment progressed, the actor or the learner would pretend to experience increasing levels of distress, screaming and even begging to stop. Despite this, a significant number of participants continued to administer these electric shocks, following the orders of an authority figure, which was the researcher in a lab coat. What the Milgram experiment taught us is that many individuals were actually willing to listen to this authority figure, even if it meant causing harm to others. What this reveals about human behavior is how people are able to mentally distance themselves from the consequences of their actions by placing this responsibility on the authority figure. In the Milgram experiment, the researcher was an experimenter in a lab coat. However, in the real world, that authority figure can take many forms. It can be your educational institution, your boss at work, or even your teacher at school.
I just want to know, why does it take so long to find out about these experiments being done? And could they even get away with this kind of stuff nowadays? Like, thankfully, I feel like they couldn't. I feel like they really couldn't. At least I hope that they couldn't. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know.
Suzanne Barr, did you see what she said today? She said she doesn't see a 2024 election even happening in the United States.
I don't think we're going to have no election.
You want to bet money?
I'll bet.
How much?
I'll bet big. I don't think we're going to have no election.
$1,000.
All right.
Shake hands.
I do not want to hear that.
I mean, it's possible because if Russia does technically declare war or we declare war, then he can stay in.
Right, he could declare martial law, or you could literally go into the War Powers Act, which then takes him out of the occasion, and then you have an entire emergency set up right now.
Oh my God, what happened to him? Lil Wayne, whose real name is Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., recently caught the attention when he sat down with Tyga. People noticed that he appeared to be swollen in the face. It looks like he might possibly even have jaundice, which is a potential sign of liver failure. This is what he looked like before, only a few months ago. Speculation has started that Wayne's use of syrup may have led to this organ failure. Even in the videos, his eyes appear to be very bulging. They are deep yellow and very glassy eyes. His hands appear to be very swollen, making his overall appearance look even worse. Is it possible that he may need rehab and possible dialysis to help remove these fluids in his body? Let me know.
Gosh, I really hope that's not true, but I mean, it really wouldn't surprise me because of everything that he's done. I just hope that he can get cleaned up now, you know? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that there's something wrong with him? Do you think that he's just staying out of the spotlight a lot now because of he's just over fame, or is it because of his health? I don't know. What do you guys know? Let me know. Yeah.
Harsh place. Anything could happen. Who picked her up?
Won't be too long now.
You're gonna have to fit into what we do here. My rules are simple.
Today's gonna be a good day. I can feel it.
And I'm sure I don't have to explain to you the consequences if you cause trouble for me.
How old are you? 15. How old are you? 19. Do they know you're that old? Why? What do they do?
Now what shall we do? Let us make our escape out of the kingdom. What are you doing there? Let us hail thee. Hail, Captain, hail. Hello. Is that your ship yonder? It is. Whither are you bound? To Ethiopia. Do you take passengers? I do. Will you take us? I will, if you have King Solomon's pass. We have no pass, but we have money, and we will pay you your demands. And you cannot go, for I have strict orders not to take workmen from the temple out of the country unless express permission from King Solomon. What shall we do? Let us turn back into the country. Agreed.
Mommy! Your mommy! Your mommy!
So what are you guys doing in this situation? Are you guys gonna do like Independence Day and just run into like a janitor's closet? Because that's probably like the best bet.
Here's the worst video on the dark web. A man is driving along when he comes face to face with a terrifying creature. What happens next is horrifying.
What are you doing? Get out of the road! What are you doing? What the hell? What are you doing? What the hell? What the hell? What the bloody hell was that?
No, no thanks. Which one of you guys are gonna pick up this one? could not catch me. Never. Oh.
1993, German engineer Rudolf Gattenbrink was inside the Great Pyramid of Giza studying an unexplored shaft in the Queen's Chamber. What's interesting about this shaft is that unlike the two shafts found in the King's Chamber, they don't open up to the outside. Instead, they seemingly go about 10 feet into the wall and lead to a dead end, meaning the purpose of them was still unknown. So Rudolf created a little robot that was equipped with a camera and a light small enough to fit inside of this 8-inch wide square shaft. And when they sent this robot into the tunnel, something happened that would change his life forever. Once the robot reached what was supposed to be the end of this shaft, they noticed that it kept going. But rather than continuing it in a straight line, it actually ramped up at a 40-degree angle into a much longer, previously undiscovered section. And from the camera's feed, they could see that it went for another 90 yards before coming to a dead end, where the robot came up to what appeared to be a tiny limestone door with 2 copper handles embedded into it. This discovery baffled Rudolph and his team because metal has never been found anywhere else inside the Great Pyramid, which is supposed to be made entirely of limestone. And they could tell this was a door of some sort because it had a little bit of space around the edges, indicating there was likely something behind it. Was this door placed there after the pyramid was built, or was it intentionally put there to protect something? Either way, Rudolph had to know what was behind that door. That's when he asked Zahi Hawass, the Minister of Antiquities for the Egyptian government, for permission to investigate further and see what was behind the door.
We worked 2 years.
No longer.
No longer, no.
Why not?
But rather than giving him permission, Zahi, along with the Egyptian authorities, shut down Rudolph and his team and banned them from ever researching the site again.
There were quite a lot of problems between us about the question how to state the find.
Now, we've actually met Zahi before in my video about the Sphinx, and the truth is, Zahi, despite being the most famous archaeologist in Egypt, has a known history of suppressing any new evidence that may conflict with mainstream Egyptology.
When I do archaeology, you listen to me! Shut up!
But what you need to realize is that the vast majority of mainstream Egyptology is based on ideas that are highly speculative at best, especially when it comes to the Great Pyramid. Because almost everything you've ever learned in school about it are not proven facts, but rather are unproven hypotheses based on circumstantial evidence and perpetuated by Zahi at the top of the mainstream Egyptology pyramid. See what I did there? Now, according to mainstream scientists, the Great Pyramid of Giza was built about 4,500 years ago by the pharaoh Khufu, who wanted to use it as his tomb one day. It allegedly only took 20 years to complete. By the time it was finished, the pyramid actually looked much different than it does today because it was covered in a white, smooth limestone that went all the way up from the base to the capstone, which was made of solid gold. That is, until somewhere in the 1200s, a huge earthquake hit Egypt, causing most of the buildings in Cairo to collapse, along with some of these white limestones to break loose. Unfortunately for us, the Egyptians at the time decided to then strip off the rest of the white limestone along with the capstone so they could be used to help rebuild the city, leaving the blocky appearance that it has today. But here's where things start to get murky.
Top 5 weirdest things that I've ever found in a golf ball, and spoiler alert, the chip in the top golf balls didn't even make the list. Coming in at number 5 was the Phantom golf ball, and when I popped it in my cutters, it just poured out a bunch of water. It was hollow on the inside and ended up leaving a giant puddle of water on my kitchen table. At least I hope it's water. 4th are the Exploder golf balls, and when cutting these open, I realized that the outer shell was super thin and breaking, and all of this mysterious white powder just came pouring out of it. My guess is maybe baby powder. In 3rd, I don't even know what it was called, but when I started breaking open this ball, it was terrifying. On the inside was this giant pink ribbon thing wound up, and one side was filled with putty, which made it super uneven and super weird. 2nd place, shout out to all the golf balls from the 70s that look like this, and as you can see, it was one rubber band just wound a million times with a little cork ore that exploded. Now in a tie for 1st place is the Unpuddle ball, which when I popped it open, all of this black powder sand stuff came out of it. It was in a little sack and a ring, just overall things that should not be in a golf ball. And the other 1st place winner right there with it is the Shocked golf ball, which is probably the most normal looking golf ball except for that hole drilled, and inside of that hole is a little metal thing that ended up being a blank with a bunch of powder inside.
Okay, so I don't know anything about golf, but I feel like that's cheating. Is that cheating? Is that a conspiracy to cheat? Because what are these balls made out of? And are there like specific balls that you have to have for competitions and stuff? Because they had different things inside of them. What about they did that to baseballs?
Yep, this doomsday clock is about to strike in 90 seconds, and when it hits midnight, that means civilization has reached its end, and it's our fault. Citizens were terrified to hear that our doomsday clock, created by a group of scientists led by Albert Einstein and Robert Oppenheimer, has just reached its end. In January 2023, during a haunting presentation, scientists unveiled the shocking state of the clock, and it was very bad. The 12-hour clock is not a normal clock, but was created to represent threat levels and how long until humanity destroys the world, midnight being the end. The clock has mostly remained hours away from midnight through history, even through many wars. But in 2020, with the onset of the pandemic, people were shocked when it was moved to 100 seconds. But now, only 3 years later in 2023, we are at 90 seconds, making it the closest it's ever been in recorded history. With the rise of deadly wars and mutant diseases, the climate crisis, and the rise of nuclear weapons all in 1 year, scientists are terrified, saying to brace for impact in 2024 as it may be the end of humanity as we know it. Given the state of the world this year, do you think it will be less than 60 seconds?
There's a theory that the Hunger Games, the whole point of the games, is literally just to test the capabilities of all the districts to see if they could rebel. Check this out. Okay. So every year they have a Hunger Games, right? And usually who would win? The number 1, 2, 3 districts, because they're bred to play the games, and they're the richer states.
Yeah, they had all the D's guys.
Yeah, and they had all the D's mans, right? Yeah. Now, whenever, and this is proved in the recent film, the one that just came out, whenever a tribute from one of the one of the poorer districts win, that's a sign a rebellion is happening or is about to happen. So in the movie that just came out, when I think her name is freaking I forgot exactly her name, but the main girl from District 12 won.
Oh shit.
There was a rebellion in the midst. Like, they were cooking up a rebellion. They're ready to fight back.
Yeah.
Now, in Katniss Everdeen's games too,
She won.
she won. And where's she from? District 12. So it's a sign right away that if someone from the later districts win, that means they're gonna start a rebellion because they're powerful, they're strong enough, and they're ready and resourceful enough to fight back against the Capitol. So, you ever hear the theory how Katniss Everdeen was the reason Prim got reaped?
No, why?
So, you know what reaping means, right?
Yeah, like
where
that.
they choose who gets to go and fight in the games.
Yeah.
The theory goes that Katniss is the reason she was picked. Now, in the book and even in the movie, you know, she went to that one, like, it's a black market where they sell trinkets and shit.
Okay, yeah.
And she got the Mockingjay pin. Now, the Mockingjay is the reason Prim was chosen because the pin resembles and it's a symbol for rebellion. Now, theory goes that when they're deciding who to pick for the reaping, they seen her with the pin and decided to choose her to get rid of a rebel.
What?
Now, because the Mockingjay itself, the reason it's a rebellious symbol is because, you know, the Jabberjays, it was those birds that can like copy voices and shit.
Yeah.
The Mockingjay, it became like a natural thing where other birds, I'm pretty sure like real birds, they ended up mating with the Jabberjays and then it created the Mockingjay. So the Mockingjay is an accidental thing, so it's like a sign of like rebellion.
Yeah.
And all of that shit led up to Prim being caught. And then Prim being into the reaping, and then now Katniss had to like, you know what I'm talking about?
So just because she bought that trinket.
Yeah, and gave it to her during the reaping.
So she used that girl the whole time, because remember, she was up in the tree and she was like, Katniss.
No, that's different.
Oh, that's not Prim?
Prim is her sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, Prim's her sister, fam.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking about the black girl. You remember that?
That's a root.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that deep. I might actually have to rewatch this movie or something. Have you guys seen the new one? Let me know. Is it as deep as what they're saying?
Hey, is it just me, or has time been moving by fast as hell lately? It seems like every time I wake up, it's already time to go back to sleep. It's getting dark at 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. As we all know, time is a spell and it's an illusion, and I really think it's starting to break down. I just took a video last night of clouds moving 50 miles per hour with a full moon, and I was getting dizzy. Look at this. It was fast in
these
person.
clouds
Look at
are
this.
moving fast as fuck, bro. That's why time been going by so fast. Bro, this shit is scary, little TT. Cause I ain't never seen no clouds move this fast, but did you?
It looks slower on the camera, but it's
Yeah.
But it's already crazy enough that a man could change the time back like he God. You ain't God, but I could be tripping, but let me know.
All right, for those who don't know what this is in Switzerland. This was about 5 to 7 years ago. So when I did the research on this, they said this was a railroad opening ceremony. Okay, a railroad opening ceremony. But as you can see, I don't see no railroads here. I mean, you can see the tracks right there, right? You can see the tracks right here. But what kind of ceremony would you need to invite goat heads, skull heads, Baphomet looking people, you know, Satanists, devils? Like, what kind of ceremony would you need in order to invite this type of entity? Then when you know who their God is, their Lord, you know what I'm saying, Satan, Lucifer, you can see what it's really all about, you know. So they are calling their Lord then, because they know it is the time is in. You just seen the lights turn to red. So let me know what y'all think. Leave your comments down below. Share this video.
Spoil anything, but this house is a church with a jail in it. We're in Louisiana, Missouri. $100,000, 3-bed, 3-bath, and it's 3,700 square feet. Honestly, not a bad price for how big it is. It's literally an old church turned into a house. Built in the 1800s, which we all know what that means. It's haunted. Jumping right in. This just weirds me out. What is that? This is so odd. Like, your dining areas over there, it's just strange. Like, imagine sitting down with, like, your morning coffee in this room. Like, it's just weird. What is this photo? What is this? Are there, like, secret passageways in the floor? Huh? Here's your living room. This is just so strange. We have a bathroom and there's some nice stained glass in there. I just don't know about it. I'm getting a weird, creepy vibe. Lots of stained glass. Here's your kitchen. It's fine. Don't know what's going on right there, though. Just a lot of weird spaces. It's just weird. Horrifying basement. And now we get to the jail. The jail in the church. Literally, why? Why? Why does a church need a jail? Are we locking in here? Is my question. No. What is this room? It looks like a hostage situation. Scary garage, but that's it. Why does a church need a jail is my question. This is so scary and haunted. That's all. Love you, bye.
Your favorite celebrity has been alive for a very long time.
Honestly, I don't know. All I'm saying is it's crazy. Look at these two. Tell me they don't look alike. Okay, now I seen someone saying this is the same person. No, it's not. There's dude's name right there. Crazy, right? Funny how you say vampires. Maybe a little bit of a stretch, but I just thought it was funny. Now tell me that's not the same person. Well, it's not, but that's crazy. Check that out. Here's the name of this guy, because people were wondering, and then obviously that's Mark Zuckerberg. I think he was the king of France. Both have power. There's another one. There's the name of that girl. Now you guys love this one. There's his name. There's Big Alec. Don't they look just alike? Just fluffier? Guess that's Pope Gregory. Look into it. Check that one out. Now, I don't know if these people are vampires, clones, what they are, but these resemblances are crazy.
By the way, this video is scripted and for entertainment purposes only. Stay weird.
So what is the cremation of care? The word cremation kind of gives me the willies.
Yes, cremation of care is the big kickoff ceremony that opens up the camp. And it started in 1881. It's now done with the voice of Walter Cronkite as the owl. But let's talk. And he was a member.
Hang on a second. Walter Cronkite's voice is in an owl?
Is the owl. It's a 40-foot owl. It's huge. It's at the owl shrine in the lake. And what they do is they get together. They're in red robes.
Matter-of-factly.
Yes.
I'm Walter Cronkite.
I mean, you have to do this matter-of-factly because it's just too much right material. But there's a huge ceremony, a lot of ritual, and what they talk about is cremating care, the dull care of the world. So they're going to go into this big party and they're going to kind of put their conscience and their worries aside, so to speak. They end up investing care, all their cares into this coffin, and it's burned actually. So at the foot of the owl, and there's a lot of cheering and all that sort of thing when it happens.
When you say partying for 2 weeks, though, I still would love to know what that looks like.
All right, what it looks like, well, you have people peeing against redwood trees, getting naked. You have fishnet stockings, people in drag, Elvis impersonators. You have a lot of crazy stuff going down.
Was J. Edgar Hoover a member?
William Casey was a member.
It's like a barbecue at your house.
Yeah. This is my kind of party. Cross-dressing, urinating.
Get on the list. You got 25 grand.
These are the people who shape the way we think, what we purchase, whether we go to war.
How our taxes are spent.
That's right.
Who's elected?
That's right.
So what about infiltrating the Grove?
It's pretty tough to do now. Security's really tight there. You can't just walk in.
That doesn't mean we won't try.
Oh, absolutely.
Just makes you want to do it more.
leave. Stop. You gotta go. Shh, 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 shh. Calm down. What are you? Stop. Charlie, come on.
I got a question. Why is there no perp walk photos? Why is there no photos of him in court? Why is there no photos of him getting off the plane? I have no answer. But isn't that weird? Every other person who's arrested, you see the perp walk.
Yeah, including El Chapo.
Including El Chapo, including Harvey Weinstein.
Yes.
Literally everybody, you've got footage. The media knows where to wait.
Right.
Why is there no footage of him?
What the fuck?
I don't have an answer. And the thing is to even say this is weird, conspiracy theory. No, literally tell me what I'm missing.
Well, here's where it gets even weirder. You know that he was like visited while he was in jail by women, and like he'd have his assistant come to visit him in jail.
I did not know this.
Oh yeah. Well,
like 16 hours a day, he'd get to hang out in the the special room where they would buy out all of the pop machines and snacks, all of them. And he'd just get to sit in there and hang out.
16 hours a day.
What the blood clot did? It was the dog. Ah!
Let me see. I'll know if she's my dog. Merlin, sit. Turn around. Turn around. Lay down. You're not my dog. My dog don't know how to do no fucking trick. The fuck? Call 911. Hey!
Okay, what kind of animal is that? What is that? Is that your pet?
The following video comes from a local news station in Peru that caught something pretty creepy on camera. The station had featured a news report showing footage of a small town struck by severe weather. Residents of this town were left devastated by this natural disaster, but many of them were left totally creeped out after watching this broadcast. Apparently, something strange was captured. The segment in question starts off with footage of a school playground that appears to be completely devoid of any children.
Ni los juegos infantiles se salvaron de la furia de la naturaleza. Los columpios sube y baja quedaron flotando en el agua emposada.
Now the reporter makes it clear that the site has been abandoned as heavy rains have flooded the area. The segment then shows more footage of other sites that have also been left behind, but one clip in particular has left many viewers feeling a bit weird. In fact, they were left feeling beyond spooked upon noticing something strange in the recording. The news reporter is visiting a section of the town known as Santo Domingo when out of nowhere, this happens.
Desde el asentamiento humano Santo Domingo, Comité 6, mira la escalera, ¿cómo podría bajar aquí una persona, un anciano? Los niños, ¿cómo podrían bajar? Mira.
As the camera pans over to the base of the stairs, a strange figure can be seen. It's hard to make out what exactly is being seen here, but it's clear that someone or something is there. This mysterious figure moves in such a way as though struggling to get a grip on the staircase. Residents of the town no doubt believe that this may have been the ghost of a victim who was claimed by this natural disaster, but it's still a mystery as to who or even what this might have been. Now it's worth noting that the reporter didn't notice the figure while filming, which has led viewers to believe that something supernatural was captured. But as always, you be the judge. Did something paranormal appear? Or was something else captured?
Pilot explains contrails.
Contrails like this that are kind of broken up. She's gone behind the clouds now, but usually because they're climbing or descending. And this one's descending. He started right back there. And he just entered a part of the atmosphere that was just the right humidity, just the right conditions for contrails, and went right back out of it. Just a little section right there, probably about 10,000 feet, maybe 5,000 feet of the perfect conditions. And he's back out of it now. So, oh, and he just entered another one. If you look at like waves, like in the ocean, you know, they go up and down. That's kind of how air moves in the atmosphere as well. It's pretty much exactly how it moves. It's just going up and down, up and down. And so this is either and I suspect it because he's descending through it, but this is just a little ridge right there, and then it just goes back down low to where he wasn't flying through it, and then he just went back into one that's a little bit less conducive to like those kind of contrails, but conducive enough to produce one that's just like right behind the aircraft. So yeah, not chemtrails. That's just kind of how atmosphere works. Ain't that right, Annie? Hey. Hi. And then some days they stick around. Some days they kind of go away, and that's just how it is. They just dissipate. There's something flying up there. Oh, he's not quite high enough for the contrails, but yeah.
Conspiracy theories around Taylor Swift rigging the Super Bowl are swirling. Let me explain. It seems to have started earlier in January with Fox News talking head Jesse Waters floating the idea that the pop star is a government psyop on his show.
Well, around 4 years ago, the Pentagon's Psychological Operations Unit floated turning Taylor Swift into an asset during a NATO meeting.
He then played a clip from this 2019 International Conference on Cyber Conflict to back up his claim.
So I include Taylor Swift in here because she's a fairly influential online person. I don't know if you've heard of her.
However, the woman in the clip shown indeed does not work for the Pentagon, as Fox's Waters said. She was a researcher at Johns Hopkins at the time, and was giving a presentation about how influential people can combat misinformation online. Days after he made the allegation, a Pentagon spokesperson denied the claim, using Taylor Swift lyrics to respond saying, quote, "As for this conspiracy, we're going to shake it off." Swift endorsed Biden in 2020 and urged her followers to register to vote. This is also being used by many online to inform their conspiracy theories about Taylor Swift. They see her relationship with Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce and the media focus on their relationship as reason to believe she's being used as a psyop to rig the Super Bowl and influence Americans to vote for Joe Biden this November. Then this past Monday, former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy wrote on X, quote, "I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month. And I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially culturally propped up couple this fall."
Is the NFL calling an audible of who they want to win the Super Bowl? And did I just crack the conspiracy? I might have broken the internet with this one. Just hear me out. If you guys remember back in the summertime, Taylor Swift was heavily rumored to be this year's Super Bowl halftime performer. And she turned it down because she would be on tour. And I even made a video making fun of it saying, thank God, because the last thing I want to see is Taylor Swift while watching football. Well, joke was on me because all of a sudden she starts dating Travis Kelce. And we get to see her every single Chief games this year. Yay! With the NFL increasing their viewership over 53% since Taylor Swift been attending games, the NFL would love more than anything to have these two kissing underneath the confetti while celebrating another Super Bowl victory. And with last week's Chief games drawing a record-breaking over 50 million viewers, the NFL definitely called an audible. The NFL has assigned this referee, Sean Smith, to call this game. And based on data, he seems to favor the road teams. And it gets even weirder. If you guys remember, the Chiefs and Lions started the season. How about they finish it too? As we all know, the Lions won that game, signifying that they have arrived and that they're a real contender. So was this Super Bowl supposed to be the Ravens versus the 49ers? Probably when they initially made this logo. But after this audible, blue and red make purple. And red at the top means the Chiefs should rain confetti again. The NFL will get one step closer to having their dream scenario, a Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift smooching underneath confetti.
Thank you guys so much much for meeting me at the very end. I really appreciate it. I hope that you liked this video and you enjoyed all the conspiracies. And if you want to see some more, make sure that you subscribe so you can see the next video. I'm always dropping videos on Mondays and Fridays. So I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.